Hello, I am Congressman Robert Wexler. Nearly 5 years ago on March 19th, President Bush launched an ill-conceived preemptive invasion of Iraq. This misguided decision by the president is one of the most tragic and costly foreign policy blunders in the history of the United States. American troops have performed heroically. They have done everything we have asked of them and more. Unfortunately, the Bush administration has rewarded their bravery with a botched occupation and a war without end. As we acknowledge the 5th year anniversary of the invasion of Iraq, we must pause to recognize the true cost of this war. Almost 4,000 American soldiers have lost their lives. Close to 40,000 of our sons and daughters have been maimed and injured. More than 90,000 Iraqi civilians have been killed. We have spent $500 billion already, and we are on our way to $1 trillion. Money that could have been invested at home in our schools, for health care, and to rebuild our nation's infrastructure. I have introduced a congressional resolution marking this tragic 5-year anniversary, and I am calling on Congress to recognize the stark truths of this failed war and insist that President Bush immediately and safely redeploy our troops from Iraq. Where do we stand after 5 long years? Today, with our overstretched American military, we face a resurgent al-Qaeda, an increasingly destabilized Afghanistan, and an emboldened Iran, and a totally dysfunctional Iraqi government. America is bogged down in a civil war in Iraq with no end in sight, which has compromised the war on terrorism and our security. And now the architect of the surge has acknowledged its failure. General Petraeus has admitted that political progress and reconciliation has not occurred in Iraq. That was the very purpose of the surge, and now we know that the mission has not been accomplished. After 5 long years, this president will not change course. And now Senator John McCain is waiting in the wings to keep our troops in Iraq for another 100 years. As President Bush pours billions of dollars into Iraq, our economy at home is collapsing. Democrats must force an end to this disaster and cut off funding for the war. As we reflect on the 5-year anniversary of Iraq, I must ask, why have President Bush and Vice President Cheney not been held accountable for a war waged on false pretenses and manipulated intelligence? Where is the outrage against a vice president who maliciously outed a covert CIA agent, Valerie Plame, in order to fuel lies and propaganda about this war? When will we properly rebuke this president for his knowingly false statements in the State of the Union address and his total mismanagement of this conflict? I am proud that Democrats in Congress had the courage to recently hold renegade Bush officials in contempt for refusing to abide by congressional subpoenas. We must use every means at our disposal to demand their cooperation. Through your help and hundreds of thousands of others, I have pushed aggressively for impeachment hearings for Vice President Cheney. It is our constitutional obligation to put the facts on the table and reveal the truth about the serious allegations leveled against the Vice President. As we recognize this grave anniversary, we should all take a moment to reflect on the countless American families that have suffered because of this war, and we must renew our commitment to remove our troops from Iraq. Thank you.